so, yeah. Hey everyone, one full year and I'm riding my bike. I've been riding it all year long. I rode it September, October, November, yes, even during winter. It snowed, it got cold, and I still rode my e-bike. I rode it all winter long. It was awesome. Now, we did have a pretty mild winter where I was at, coming up all the way through January, February. Even March was pretty tame. Now, if you don't know, this doesn't look like the same terrain where I left you off last year. It isn't. I've actually moved. I moved out of the big city into a rural area. You know, I had some health problems. That's why I got the e-bike. My doctor suggested it following several surgeries. So I had surgeries to both my legs, both feet. And let me tell you, I had problems where I couldn't walk and stuff for a while. I still can't really walk without use of a cane. My doctor said I'm probably going to be disabled for the rest of my life. I have a cane. I do have, the state sees me as, lifetime disability. So I do have a disabled parking permit for the rest of my life. I do walk with the cane, but I don't let that stop me. Believe it or not, they said bicycling's the way to go. They said get an e-bike. An e-bike will work really good for people that have a disability. You know, walking is something I can't do without a cane, but I'm trying my hardest to do it with or without a cane. So believe it or not, I'm on the e-bike. E-bike has been wonderful. Full year of e-biking. So like people that have problems walking, disability, surgeries like I had, the e-bike allows you to go further than you could on a real bike. And this terrain, as you can see, has some hills. It has definitely not flat terrain, and that really helps you go up and down the hills as well, because you don't really have the muscle in your legs. So it really helps you do a lot more. So yeah, the e-bike has been wonderful. I'm very grateful. My doctor suggests getting it. Look at that beautiful shot of those birds right there. Yeah, and you can see like this new terrain here. We do have hills. I mean, they're not super tall hills. Now, there is big hills in this area. I'm just not going to show you those today. I just took a really like sort of light gander around my new area. And this is over by some industrial stuff coming up right here. And there's going to be some more. It's a little bit winding roads. There is elevations here. We do have railroad. Oh, the railroad is active over here. I'm really thinking I'm going to be doing, I moved into a new home, single family home. Awesome, right? I'm going to do a model railroad. So if you know, if you're one of my model railroad fans, I do have a room that's 6.5 foot by 14 feet long. Yeah, we're gonna go crazy on the model railroad. I've been planning it out for a couple months here. I definitely didn't want to really do it during the summer because the winter months, are coming up, and that's when we can start putting a sort of a plan of action together. I didn't really want to jump the gun on that. Yeah, but the e-bike has been wonderful. Had a whole year, let me tell you, has been absolutely great. Now, this is a Class 2 e-bike that I got last year. It's called the Lectric XP LITE. You may have seen it on TV because that's how we found out about it, as seen on TV. And, when my doctor suggested getting an e-bike, I looked into 40 different e-bikes. I definitely was looking at a lower cost. I was looking for lower weight because I had friends and family. Oh, check out the deer. It's coming up. Right there. See it? See it? It's going to run off now. Yeah. There's a lot of deer around here. So my friends and family, they had some e-bikes, and I got to try some of those out, and a lot of them are really heavy. A lot of them weigh in the realm of a Honda DeGrom or a Honda Monkey. If you don't know what that is, those are sort of beginner motorcycles. If you're from, say, the UK, Triumph Tiger Cub, about that size, okay? A lot of them are in that weight class, and I didn't want anything that heavy. I wanted a lower weight. The problem with lower weight is two different folds. Lower weight, if you want to get something that's really low weight, it usually costs a lot more. Or if you want to get lower weight, There are cheaper lower weights, but then the weight cargo capacity is really small. So when I needed to get my e-bike, I weighed 240, plus I wanted to carry at least another 20 pounds of cargo. So yeah, I was looking at 270 weight capacity, and this e-bike here goes weight capacity about 280. So yeah, I thought this is definitely the one. It's got the weight cargo capacity I need. It's under 50 pounds. I think it was 46 stock. And it's inexpensive. It's one of the ones that are a little bit more inexpensive than most. Now, there are ones cheaper than this, and there's ones that weigh less than this. But then either the weight capacity wasn't there, or the price wasn't there. Or, you know, so this one here just happened to be the one I am getting. Now, this is a single gear e-bike, one gear. That did concern me when I first got this, that one gear. But you know what? I can tell you it's not been a problem at all. The one gear has not been a problem. It's only a 300 hub motor. It does peak to 720. Again, not an issue. It's not been an issue at all for me. It's a folding style e-bike, which I actually thought, oh man, I really wanted a folding style e-bike. I'm going to be using the folding part of it all the time. Yeah, I don't use the folding thing hardly ever. I probably could have got away with a non-folding e-bike because I very seldom use the folding part of it. But yeah, it's been actually really good for me. I really liked it for the whole year. I'm still liking it. And yeah, it's a really nice e-bike for the price. And, you know, for a first e-bike for me, I really like it. I really highly suggest getting something like this because of its weight class. And, you know, I mean, like, it's literally under 50 pounds, even with the rear rack, even with the fenders and all the little other accessories I add to it, still under 50 pounds. I actually carried it up and down the stairs into my city apartment. Now, I don't live in the city anymore, but when I did, this thing worked really good. And that's when I just got done with, like, some of my surgeries. I was pretty weak when I first got this, so if they carried up 7 steps. It was kind of a challenge, but I could do it. I've now got a lot more muscle in my legs. I'm able to stand without even using the cane, but I still have to walk. Check out that Cherry ride. Look at that freaking awesome truck, man. This new area is really nice. Just the scenery and stuff. Yeah, there's a little road construction stuff going on, and when there is, I have to make detours on where I'm going to go and exercise. I basically am riding to exercise. Believe it or not, I'm pedaling. I very seldom use the throttle. I do use it to get started or if I'm at an intersection or something, but for the most part, I am pedaling. But as you can see, I am using the pedal assist. Believe it or not, it does come in handy, especially because of that disability, but I'm still getting a workout. Now, it's not the same as having a torque sensor e-bike. This is a cadence sensor e-bike, so no matter if you pedal, it's going to always thrust you forward. I definitely want to get a torque sensor e-bike in the future. I just can't afford one right now, and if I did get a torque sensor e-bike, I want one. It's, again, under 50 pounds, so I want a low-weight one. And like I said, I just don't have the money for one, so, you know, hopefully I'll win the lottery or something. Other than that, but this e-bike has been great. I've had no problems with it at all year. No problems with the tires, no problems with the brakes, no problems with nothing. Has been really, really good, and I like using it a lot. There's a lot of little hills right here. As you can see, this is actually a pretty good incline sort of hill coming up. Because it's on a curve, it actually curves up, and there's actually railroad tracks right when you get there. So it's a little challenging because you don't want to go too fast because you have to look both ways to make sure there's not a train coming as well. So, but you have to pedal all the way up this. PSA 3 or 4 is more than enough to pedal up this area. Now, this is near some industrial areas, so I like to go a little bit faster around here. PSA 4 or 5. This was during work days. As you can see, there's cars and trucks around, and I just didn't want to... believe it or not, they can't see you in some of these curves around here, so I definitely want to make sure I was going fast enough. But you can really get a workout in this little area over here because there are some hills throughout the area. They're not like huge hills, but they incline up and down. So if you're going down in one area, you're going up in another. So it definitely gives you a good workout if you keep pedaling. But yeah, this e-bike's been great. Absolutely loving it. A lot of people ask me why I left the city. You know, in my last neighborhood, we didn't have very nice people live there because of my surgeries and stuff I had. And I had for a while, I couldn't walk very good. And I walk with a cane. We had some crazy Karens and crazy Kevins in that neighborhood that kind of harassed me and stuff. And did really mean and nasty stuff. They threw rocks at me. They shot bow and arrows at me. I'm not kidding you. I had bow and arrows shot at me. They shot fireworks at me. One guy across the street actually tried to burn down our apartment building several times. Got harassed and all sorts of like really mean and crazy stuff because they didn't like people with disabilities or looking at people with disabilities. They didn't like us sitting outside of our house, like in our yard during the middle of the summer, because apparently people with disabilities knock down the property value. That's what they told me. That's what they told me, that I was knocking down their property value for being disabled. And they would do anything to get me out of there. Yeah, those type of people are just insane, okay? Those are some crazy lunatics. Anyone that thinks that is nuts, and they should lock them up and throw away the key. I mean, that's somebody that has mental problems. And the crazy thing is, this was like 7 households that were acting this way. 7 crazy lunatic households, including the people who lived upstairs. They were not very nice neighbors. So after them, I just didn't want to live in a apartment building. We lived in a duplex. I didn't want to live in any apartment building ever again. So I had to move to a rural area to kind of basically afford to live in a single family home. So I moved to this area, and let me tell you, I really like it. These trees are awesome. Look at the trees, man. They're gorgeous. And all the houses, look at how much room is between the houses. Quite a bit. Now there's going to be a little hill coming down up here. This is another reason I like riding in these areas, because not just going up the hill, you know, you go up the hill and you get a good workout, but if you go down the hill, guess what? You don't have to pedal. You get a little break, you know, and it extends your range as well. So yeah, so you can see it's not a big hill, but you can basically coast all the way down for like quite a bit. I would say probably like about at least 100 yards before you have to pedal again. So yeah, this area has been really nice. Been here for a couple months. No one has a problem with people with disabilities around here. Believe it or not, I walk with a cane and people actually ask if they can help me carry anything. Yeah, very nice community. So yeah, I've been riding the e-bike and it's wonderful. All year round. I rode it in the winter and I rode it in the summer. And I'm having a lot of fun. Yeah, I keep it on the voltage because the voltage tells me what the real, that top energy bar doesn't tell you crap. The voltage is what tells you everything you need to know here. So this area here has, the big problem here is a lot of deer. We have wild animals. Believe it or not, there's even bear in this area, wolves, coyotes, but for the most part, the big problem are deer. There's like 30 deer around the area. We also have trains. Oh boy, I love the trains. Yeah, I'm just looking at the train buildings. If we could always like go around. Oh yeah, here's the train. I actually heard it, and I'm trying to get to the area where the train is coming, so we can maybe see it. But by the time I get there, all we see is some empty log cars. So here we go. I'm gonna try to, yep, empty log cars. So there's definitely logging in this area. I heard there's a lumber yard and even a paper mill. So we are going to see some deer. I didn't actually think I was going to see a deer because I actually rode early. I decided to I normally don't ride with the chest mount because it's very constricting, but I felt like, oh, it's the anniversary of getting the e-bike. Like I literally got it 1 year from the day of taping this. And yeah. Oh, there's also a park over here. They have like a little leagues or softball field, and I think they have some playground equipment. It's just on the way of me getting to the main street over there. When I get into the neighborhoods, I just go PSA 3, but I'm on the main street to go PSA 4 or 5. But yeah, it's been a nice area. The bike has been fantastic. Now I haven't, you know, you see me like do the panner bags and the rear rack. They have been wonderful. I've used them. like nonstop. I have a folding cane that I put in there. Sometimes I put some clothes in there, like a sweatshirt. I also can carry groceries and stuff. I also carry my bike locks when I'm not, when I'm riding the bike. I have some bike locks I put in there as well. And yeah, the thing's wonderful. Been fantastic. You can see that's normally where my dash cam goes, which is what I'm wearing for the taking a picture. It's a great camera. It's a Campark V30. It was only, you can get them for like between 30 and 50 bucks, and the picture quality is just almost as good as a GoPro. I'm shooting at 1080p though. I'm not shooting at 4K, but you can. I think 1080p is fine. The internet in this area, oh man, it's awesome. My last place I got 15 megablips a second, and it was super expensive in the city. Here in the rural area, 1.2 gigahertz internet, and it's cheaper than that 15 megablips. So yeah, absolutely awesome. I think that deer shot's coming up. Yep, I see it in the corner of my eye. That's what I've seen. I seen a deer or some kind of animal over there, so that's why I diverted over, and we're gonna take a look. And I'm gonna go live to what I was talking on camera.
See the deer? Yeah, I don't want to spook them, but there's a deer. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I told you there are deer around here. I purposely decided for the anniversary ride to ride early, so I wouldn't have problems with deer. There's a deer right there. It's in a yard, but I figured I'd stop and show you guys. You can see one. He's curious. He's curious what I'm doing. I'm not going to hurt him. Or her. It actually looks like a doll. Huh? There's usually at night, I'd say about 30 different deer around. There's apple trees near here. They like the apple trees.
Hey everyone, so yeah, that was the deer shot. Pretty cool, huh? There's going to be one more deer shot at the end here where I almost run into him. It was pretty crazy. But yeah, the e-bike's been doing great. Like I said, my doctor's the one that suggested actually getting it after I got an exercise bike. So it improves my blood circulation in my legs, which is awesome. It helps improve the muscle in my legs after the surgeries. And if you don't know, I am a type 2 diabetic. So it has improved my A1C. And if you don't know, I have actually reverted my diabetes. Thanks to basically diet and exercise. Exercise thanks to this bike and a stationary bicycle I have lowered my A1C to 5.5, which is basically pre-diabetic numbers, which is phenomenal. So they've taken me off all the diabetic medication. So I'm not on any diabetic medication right now. As long as I keep the diet and exercise going, yeah, it's wonderful. It's pretty interesting that you can turn it around. A lot of people are saying, well, maybe your diabetes wasn't that bad. You talk to my doctors. They didn't. I had doctors that literally didn't think I was going to live for past 3 months, and I've lived several years now. So diet and exercise can help you turn around your diabetes, but you have to be willing to go and do it. So like this e-bike, I ride the e-bike or my other exercise bike as much as I can to get the exercise in, and I do the pedaling. So it does help for that as well. So if you feel like you might be able to use bicycling as a way to rehab or turn around some kind of illness you have, please talk to your healthcare team, your doctor, and see if it's going to work. Because everyone's different. You know, what works for me may not work for you. But yeah, it's a great aid for improving from my diabetes and from my surgeries that I had. And I am going to be disabled for the rest of my life, but I'm really hoping that maybe I can walk without a cane at some point in the future. It may not be able to walk very fast, but I'm trying. I'm trying to basically, I'm just trying to see what I can do, try to push the limits of what's possible. So that's what I'm doing. And this e-bike has been fantastic for doing that as well. It's also a great e-bike for doing some light transportation. And what I mean by light transportation, well, it's only a 7.8 amp hour battery. But believe it or not, I in the city got average of 25 miles per charge on 7.8 amp hours. I actually got up to 30 miles. If you go PSA 2, you can go 30 miles on flat terrain. Now in this terrain, I average between 15 and 20 miles. And my average is about 17 or 18 miles. But as you can see, I do go like a lot faster here. I go PSA 3, 4, and 5 more than I go PSA 1, 2, and 3 like I did in the city. So obviously doing the hills and going faster speed is going to reduce that. But here's the thing is, you can buy a dual battery balancer. I have one. It's actually $53. And you can buy another battery. It can be any 48 volt battery of any capacity as long as it's 48 volts. And the dual battery balancer will balance it correctly. So you can get an 8 amp hour, 10, a 12, a 14, a 20. Just know that whatever you add does add weight. You guys, you can see this also works on gravel or sand. As long as you just kind of go slow. You got to take it easy when you're on dirt or sand, because if you go too fast, you can wipe out and you can really injure yourself. So be very careful on sand with an e-bike. We're going to really shoot. Next shot here is going to be the deer shot where I almost run right into him. It was when I had my dash cam on and not my chest mount. Right here, look at this. These deer are everywhere, and they're very unpredictable animals, so you do have to watch out for deer, especially in this area. They're like everywhere. They're just crazy. Here's some shots of the bike. We're going to get a little bit better look at it, and we're at almost the end here. Yeah, so fantastic e-bike. I really, really like it, and if you think you want to get one, I would highly suggest doing so. It's more than capable of riding in the terrain that you've seen, and believe it or not, in my area, 10 miles from here, is elevation changes as high as 300. The elevation changes you've seen today was upwards of 125 foot elevation changes. So yeah, the bike is more than capable of doing that. So there it is, the Lectric XP LITE. I've had it for 1 year, and I absolutely love it. It's been fantastic, and it's helped me rehab from surgeries and revert my diabetes and keep the blood flowing. Yes, I suggest highly getting one.